080-5637-31. You can share, you can like our station. Thanks for staying.
The first story I'm going to read this morning says, Nigeria's debt stock hits 42.7 trillion naira. Senate okays fresh $16 billion loans.
And at the front page of Nigerian Tribune this morning is an headline that is written boldly. Zenith approves Buhari $16 billion, $1 billion naira loan Europe, request $125 million naira grants.
And on page 2 of the Punch newspaper, I have APC governors lobby Malami to stop Buhari from signing electoral bill.
At Kanu trials, lawyers stage workout.
The same story is on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. Kanu's lawyers stayed workout as DSS bars Ohaneze orders from proceedings.
Ikoyi building, debt tolls now 45. Current inaugurating 9 members panel.
Nigeria loses 396.93 billion naira to Twitter ban, 24 days to 6 months anniversary.
Oyo APC Congress crisis, deadline for consensus list extended.
And CBN climbs down on Cyprus companies, BDC short accounts.
My victory byproduct of 12 years relentless struggle. Solido.
Assembly orders security meetings as bandits kill 19 in Castina, Kaduna.
Police arrested 107 at illegal military camp in Lagos as operators kick.
Police, Amotekun called in as protesters pummel cop for attacking farmer on motorcycle.
Victims lament as Delta government NEMA visits Oju ravaged community.
Lagos police raid training camp, arrest 108 naval impersonators.
And also Lagos to register peoples in Makoko viral video in 6 government skills.
We also have this sad story says 17-year-old girl's body recovered from Kwara well 4 days after declared missing.
And with this we shall go on short break. Please stay tuned.
Ọgbà tí a ṣe jiná lóde ìrànjẹ́ làwọn aláṣẹ ìjókòó tí wọ́n fẹ́ máa jẹ ọba ni wọ́n ó ṣe gàyà díẹ̀ ná ìlú ló láṣẹ ẹjẹ́ ìlú ó jẹun náà ìdí nìyí tó fi jẹ́ pé ẹ̀tọ́ ìlú là ń fowó ìlú ṣe nípìnlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ̀rí bí ní ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa ṣe ń jògèrè LAUTECH ti di tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ilé ìwòsàn alábọ́dé bíi 40 ló ti wẹ̀wọ̀ ọ̀tún pẹ̀lú àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tòun tòògùn àti irinṣẹ́ tó pójú owó iṣẹ́ sì ti fẹ́ẹ̀ parí pẹ̀lú lórí 100 míì jákèjádò ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ààbò tó dájú ohun amáyédẹrùn ní ìṣokùnfà ìdásílẹ̀ iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá láwùjọ òun náà nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ fi wà nípò kẹta nínú àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tí ń pawó wọlé jùlọ lábẹ́lé nílẹ̀ wa ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ ló ti láǹfààní ẹ̀kọ́ṣẹ́ iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ lọ́nà ti gbàlódé táṣeyọrí yìí ó sì jẹ́ kó ń jẹ́ sùn wá bọ̀ láìpẹ́ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ àtòṣìṣẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì ń gbowó wọn lásìkò pápá àṣírí Adámàsìngbà àtàwọn inú ojú pópó tí ń sòrú dọ̀sán ńkọ́ àwọn ìlú ti sọ pásì ìwádùn níṣèjọba yìí fi ń mọrírì gbogbo àwọn aláṣẹ gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé ló ń sọ fún wa pé pẹ̀lú ìṣọ̀kan wa oòrùn tó kù lókè yìí ó táṣọ ọgbẹ.
iléeṣẹ́ ètò ìròyìn àṣà ohun ìrìn àjò afẹ́ tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló ń kéde.
Oh, you're welcome back. My victory byproduct of 12 years relentless struggle, Solido. Anambra Governor-elect Professor Chukwuma Solido has described his victory as by a product of 12 years of relentless political struggles. Solido stated this in an acceptance page after his declaration by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) in the early hours of Wednesday as the winner of Saturday governorship poll. For 12 years since the massive clamor by the people of Anambra for us to serve them, we perceived to this divine moment. This is a divine journey whose time has come. To God be all the glory and adoration. The former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria stated in the statement made available to the news agency of Nigeria, NAN, in Accra on Wednesday. He said, and I quote, "God was behind my victory. With utmost humility and gratitude to God, I accept the result of the 2021 Anambra governorship election as declared by INEC. This reflects the supreme will of the Almighty God and overwhelming sacred mandates of the people." Solido especially dedicated his victory to the 3 policemen who were killed by unknown gunmen during the town hall meeting in his ward. Also, Buhari, Otom, Obi, others congratulate Solido. Get the rest of the story on page 2 of Nigerian Tribune.
And Nigerian debt stock hits 42.7 trillion naira. Senate okays fresh $16 billion loan. Nigeria's debt stock of 35.5 trillion naira will rise to 42.7 trillion naira following the Senate's approval of the federal government's request for $16 billion and 1.2 billion euro fresh loans. The $16.2 billion loan is equivalent to 6.7 trillion naira using the importers and exporters window exchange rate of 411.24 naira per dollar, while the euro 1.2 billion euro is equivalent to 485.5 billion naira using the Central Bank of Nigeria's exchange rate of 476 per euro. This brings the value of the loan to be acquired to 7.2 trillion. The Senate had on Wednesday approved the foreign loan plan of the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari retired, in which he sought to borrow the sum of $16.2 billion, 1.02 billion euro, and a grant component of $125 million to fund some legacy projects. The Senate also approved the request of the Bank of Industries for the issuance of 500 million euro, but not more than 750 million euro bond in the international capital market. The Red Chamber's approval of the loan request was, however, accompanied by a resolution that the terms and conditions of the loan from the funding agencies be forwarded to the National Assembly prior to their execution for approval and proper documentation. For the rest of that story, turn to page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Nigerian debt stock hits 42.7 trillion naira. Senate okays fresh $16 billion loan.
And at page 15 of the Nigerian Tribune for today's edition, Oyo sold 5 bakeries, 2 eateries to avert foodborne epidemic. Concerned by the health implication of wholesome foods, the Oyo State government has sealed off 5 bakeries and 2 eateries, as well as penalized 4 other eateries in Ibadan to offences ranging from non-registration of the premises with the Health Ministry, unsanitary environments, and the use of not medically certified staff members to handle food for public consumption. Director of Food, Water and Laboratory Services, Mrs. Afusat Akonde, who led a team of inspection to seal the bakeries and eatery, said the establishments were sold after many visits and wanting to comply with regulation that govern food business in the state. According to her, increasingly, people now eat out and buy confectionery as such, ensuring that these were wholesome for consumption. The Oyo Health Ministry intends to enforce action based on the state 2012 regulation on food, water and related products. She declared the department has to make sure that whatever we consume is wholesome, so we are out to enforce the 2012 regulation on food, water and related products. It is a major concern to the government. End of quote. Oyo sold 5 bakeries, 2 eateries to avert foodborne epidemic. Check the rest of the story on page 15 of the Nigerian Tribune.
And on page 4 of the Punch newspaper, I have Lagos police raid Lagos police raid training camp, arrest 102 naval impersonators. No fewer than 108 suspects allegedly impersonating men and officers of the Nigerian Navy have been arrested by the Lagos State Police Command. The State Commissioner of Police, Akeem Odumosu, said the suspects were arrested during a raid on their training camp in the Ogudu Sandfield area of the state on Wednesday. While parading the suspects at the command headquarters in Ikeja, Odumosu said the commanding officer of the training camp, Sunday Dakare, was also arrested, adding that the suspects were operating under the name of the Nigerian Merchant Navy, also called the Coastal Defense. Odumosu said on November 10, 2021, around 11 a.m., the Lagos State Police Command raided the illegal training camp of the Merchant Navy located in the Ogudu Sandfield area, Lagos State, and arrested the commanding officer, Sunday Dakare, 47, together with 107 suspects currently on training. For the rest of that story, turn to page 4 of the Punch newspaper. Lagos police raid training camp, arrest 108 naval impersonators.
At page 30 of Nigerian Tribune, Ikoyi building. Death toll now 45. Korea inaugurating 9 members panel. Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, on Wednesday inaugurated a 9-member fact-finding panel to conduct inquiry into the collapse of a 21-story building in Lagos. The COREN Inquisition panel came on the heels of another panel set up last Wednesday by the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, shortly after he visited the site of the collapsed edifice. The panel members are Judge Okoro Mabumi Ajayi, Mrs. Buki Ejiwunmi, Victor Oyenuga, Eddie Atumogoro, Dr. Kehinde Oshifala, Nure Saleman, Wiboro Nanibikunle Ogunbayo, and also Temidire Ajinawo. President of COREN, Alira Bio, inaugurated the 9 members fact-finding panel at the Sharon Hotel, Ikeja, Lagos on Wednesday. He said that members of the panel were arrived at after several consultations with various stakeholders in the built environment. This, according to him, is pursuant to Section 1 of the Engineering Registration etc. Amendment Act 2018 that empower COREN to investigate engineering failures. The panel terms of reference include to carry out a comprehensive inquisition on the remote and or immediate causes of the collapse, to gather and record analysis of relevant engineering data available on site, to confirm contractors' compliance with Lagos State Building Development Regulations and others, find out the level of involvement or otherwise of practitioners on the project leading to the collapse, and carry out an integrity test of the 2 standing powers of the present of the collapse. Get the rest of the story on page 30 of Nigerian Tribune. Ikoyi building, that's all now 45. COREN inaugurates 9 members panel.
Still on page 4 of the Punch newspaper. Assembly orders security meetings as bandits kill 11 in Katsina communities. A lawyer, Nura Wangin, was among 11 people killed by bandits in the Basari local government area of Katsina State on Tuesday. The chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association Katsina State, Abdulgafar Ahmed, confirmed the incident to Punch correspondents. He said, and I quote, "He was killed last night, Tuesday. May Almighty Allah rest his soul." Sources in neighboring communities disclosed that the bandits operated in no fewer than 5 villages in the council, during which 11 people, including the legal practitioner, were killed. A total of 13 people were also reportedly injured in the attack. It was learned that the bandits began operation late Tuesday night and continued the killing spree till the early hours of Wednesday. The bandits were said to have fired several shots into the air to announce their presence before going into house to house and shooting residents dead. They were also said to have looted houses and shops, which they also set on fire. For the rest of that story, turn to page 4 of the Punch newspaper.
Page 8 of Nigerian Tribune. Nigeria will cooperate with France to dismantle an international criminal network. President Muhammadu Buhari has assured France of Nigeria's partnership to the great international criminal networks. He gave the assurance in Paris, France on Wednesday during a launch at Palais Élysée, where he appreciated said efforts of President Emmanuel Macron in expanding opportunities for business between Nigerians and French citizens. President Buhari said this visit of President Macron to Nigeria in 2018 had yielded fruit in renewed interest for entrepreneurship beyond local borders, with more businesses expanding their reach and scope in France, particularly with establishment of French-Nigeria Investment Club. A statement issued by Femi Adesina, special advisor to the president, media and publicity, quoted him and saying, "On the business front, we welcome the personal effort of President Macron to strengthen ties between Nigeria and French cooperation." He said, and I quote, "It was during your visit to Lagos in 2018 that the French-Nigeria Investment Club was established." End of quote. Nigeria will cooperate with France to dismantle international criminal network. Page 8 of Nigerian Tribune.
On page 8 of the Punch newspaper, I have Kanu's lawyers state workouts as DSS bars Ohaneze orders from proceedings. Justice Binta Nyako of a federal high court in Abuja on Wednesday adjourned till January 9th the trial of the chain leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. This is some members of Kanu's team of lawyers earlier staged a walkout over refusal of operatives of the Department of State Service to allow others to gain access into the courtroom. The IPOB leader was on October 26 rearranged on 7 counts bordering on treason, felony, and terrorism. Kanu, who was brought into the courtroom on Wednesday around 9:52 a.m., bemoaned the refusal of security agents to allow some members of his legal team, especially his lawyer from the United States of America, Bruce Fein, to enter the courtroom. He told Justice Uyako that Fein, who was handling a case for him in the US, was around to witness his trial. For the rest of that story, turn to page 8 of the Punch newspaper. Kanu's lawyers staged walkouts as DSS bars Ohaneze orders from proceedings.
Page 6 of Nigerian Tribune. Reps query BP over privatization of NACFA. The House of Representatives Committee on Privatization and Commercialization has queried the Bureau of Public Enterprises (BPE) over an outstanding payment of 189 million naira to Geretom, the co-investor that acquired the National Clearing and Forwarding Agency, when it was privatized, and ordered the immediate payment of the outstanding. This was part of the resolution passed by the committee at the public hearing on the privatization of the agency. The committee, while warning the BPE, will have no budgetary allocation in the 2022 budget or any other legislative engagement if it fails to pay up the money. Also frowned at the failure of the organization to appear before the committee over the dispute on NAFCA properties despite several invitations. Get the rest of that story on page 6 of Nigerian Tribune.
On page 12 of the Punch newspaper, Buhari Ngige, Ozizwo, others congratulate Soludo on victory. The President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, has congratulated Professor Charles Soludo, the candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, who emerged the winner of the governorship election in Anambra State. Buhari's congratulatory message was contained in a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, titled President Buhari congratulates Governor-elect Charles Soludo, urges support to confront challenges ahead. In his message, the President charged Soludo and members of the Presidential Economic Advisory Council to rally other stakeholders to tackle the enormous challenges confronting the state and the Southeast in general. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, on Wednesday pledged support for the governor-elect of Anambra State, Chukwuma Soludo. He also expressed gratitude to known and unknown gunmen for allowing the recently concluded Anambra State governorship election to be held. Ngige, who is also a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, while congratulating the Anambra State governor-elect Chukwuma Soludo and his party, the All Progressive Grand Alliance, over their victory at the polls, promised to assist the new administration to succeed. For the rest of that story, turn to page 12 of the Punch newspaper. Buhari Ngige, Ozigbo, others congratulate Soludo on victory.
At page 5 of Nigerian Tribune, police arrest 107 at illegal military camp in Lagos as operators kick. The police in Lagos State have busted an illegal training camp for operatives of Merchant Navy at Ogodu area of the state. About 107 personnel, including sub-commanders of the group, were also arrested by the police. The Commissioner of Police, Akeem Odumosu, insisted that the Merchant Navy is illegal and that it had been outlawed. Odumosu said several military equipment, including camouflage, badge of different ranks, signboards, and identity cards were recovered from the illegal camp. He added that recruitment letters, promotion letters, and portraits of the commanding of officer, 2 motorcycles, plasma television set, 3 cutlasses, charms, and other items were also recovered from the camp. The Lagos police boss said, and I quote, "This trend portends dangers for our nation and threat to peace and security, and that of the state in particular. I want to use this medium to warn other individuals or groups still operating such illegal outfits in any part of the state to close it forthwith. Anyone knows that the plan to operate such outlaw security outfit is advised in his own interest to resign and decision or face the full route of law." Get the rest of the story on page 5 of the Tribune newspaper. Police arrest 107 at illegal military camp in Lagos as operators kick.
On page 8 of the Punch newspaper, I have this story. Police, Amotekun called in as protesters pummel cop for attacking farmer on motorcycle. Policemen and men of Osun Security Network, aka Amotekun Corps, were deployed in the Owo-Eba area of Osogbo on Wednesday to quell unrest after a call alleged caused an accident that left a farmer with a fractured leg. Infuriated by the action of the policeman, some angry residents reportedly beat the policeman up, leaving him drenched in blood. It was learned that the incident forced many businesses to close as angry mob attacked the policeman. Some police personnel and men of the Amotekun Corps were said to have rescued the policeman as the attackers fled in different directions to escape being arrested. The resident who spoke on the condition of anonymity said the farmer, Hamzat Kazim, who was on a motorcycle with his son, was attacked by policemen, which triggered the unrest. Speaking on his bed at a home setter's house in Osogbo, Kazim explained that the policeman thought he and his son want to escape being checked and started struggling for the control of the motorcycle with his son. For the rest of that story, turn to page 8 of the Punch newspaper. Police Amotekun called in as protesters pummel cop for attacking farmer on motorcycle.
And on page 25 of Nigerian Tribune, Benue PDP will continue to consolidate on its stronghold, Hotom. Benue State Governor Samuel Hotom on Wednesday said that the PDP, that is People Democratic Party in Benue State, will continue to consolidate on its stronghold to remain in power in 2023. Hotom stated this in an interaction with a newsman in Makurdi. He said, right here in Benue State, you see the number of people and the caliber of people that have defected from the All Progressive Congress and other political parties to the PDP. Already we have over 70% of control in Benue State, and more people are joining the party in the state. It is clear sign that our party is ready. Commenting on the amended Electoral Act awaiting the assent of President Muhammadu Buhari, Hotom said he never supported direct primary because it is expensive and full of problems. He however said that the PDP will have to adjust and re-strategize if it finally becomes a law. Get the rest of the story on page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune. Benue PDP will continue to consolidate on its stronghold. Hotom.
On page 9 of the Punch newspaper, 17-year-old girl's body recovered from Kwara well 4 days after declared missing. The Kwara State Fire Service on Wednesday said it had recovered the body of a 17-year-old girl identified as Aminat from a well. It added that the corpse was recovered in Okeadini in the Alagbado area of Ilori on Wednesday, 4 days after she was declared missing. Aminat had been missing from her home since Sunday, and a search party constituted to find her could not locate her until Wednesday when a stench oozing out from the well attracted residents. The head of media and publicity, Kwara State Fire Services, Azan Adekunle, said the service was informed of the incident around 7:49 a.m. by one Abdul Fatai. Adekunle said the report says the 17-year-old female victim called Aminat had been missing since 4 days ago before her body was later found inside the domestic well. For the rest of that story, turn to page 9 of the Punch newspaper. 17-year-old girl's body recovered from Kwara well 4 days after declared missing.
And just on sport page, Dare to flag off Oyo Suwon week. The Minister of Sport and Youth Development, Mr. Sunday Dare, is expected to declare open the 2021 edition of Annual Week of the Sport Writers Association of Nigeria, Oyo State Chapter in Ibadan. The 2021 Swan will hold between 13th and to 17th of December and will feature various programs, including a lecture titled Taking Nigeria Sport to the Next Level through School Sports Reform, to be delivered by the President, School Sport Federation, Mrs. Olabisi Joseph, as well as the table tennis tournament, 5-a-side football competition, and a dinner award night. Get that story on the page 31 of Nigerian Tribune. That is to flag off Oyo Suwon week.
And on page 30 of the Punch newspaper, I have the sports story. Sports Ministry plans 350 million naira anti-doping lab in Nzuka. The Ministry of Youth and Sport Development has put plans in place to build a national anti-doping laboratory in the country in 2022, it was reported. This was contained in the 2022 budget presented to the National Assembly by the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari retired, which was seen by the correspondents of the Punch newspaper. According to the document, the anti-doping laboratory will be domiciled in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. For the rest of that story, turn to page 30 of the Punch newspaper. Sports Ministry plans 350 million naira anti-doping lab in Nsukka.
And with that story, we've come to the end of today's edition of your favorite program on your darling station, Alore Radio. Join our colleagues on Newspaper Review tomorrow at the same time at the same station. A quick information for you that you can log on to our Facebook page on www.facebook.com Alore Radio. We're also on YouTube at Alore Radio, and our website to remain www.aloreradio.com. Our mobile apps is available on Play Store, and also our line is always active. You can call on 0903-985-3731. Join us tomorrow for the same program at the same time. Till tomorrow, I say good day and have a wonderful day. Bye.
ọgbà tí àṣejiná lóde ìrànjẹ́ làwọn aláṣejókòó tí wọ́n fẹ́ máa jẹ ọba ni wọ́n ó ṣe gàyà díẹ̀ ná ìlú ló láṣẹ ẹjẹ́ ìlú ó jẹun náà ìdí nìyí tó fi jẹ́ pé ẹ̀tọ́ ìlú là ń fowó ìlú ṣe nípìnlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ̀rí bí ní ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa ṣe ń jògèrè LAUTECH ti di tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ilé ìwòsàn alábọ́dé bíi 40 ló ti wẹ̀wọ̀ ọ̀tún pẹ̀lú àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tòun tòògùn àti irinṣẹ́ tó pójú owó iṣẹ́ sì ti fẹ́ẹ̀ parí pẹ̀lú lórí 100 míì ìdákẹ́jádò ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ààbò tó dájú ohun amáyédẹrùn ní ìṣokùnfà ìdásílẹ̀ iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá láwùjọ òun náà nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ fi wà nípò kẹta nínú àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tí ń pawó wọlé jùlọ lábẹ́lé nílẹ̀ wa ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ ló ti láǹfààní ẹ̀kọ́ṣẹ́ iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ lọ́nà ti gbàlódé táṣeyọrí yìí ó sì jẹ́ kó ń jẹ́ sùn wá bọ̀ láìpẹ́ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ àtòṣìṣẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì ń gbowó wọn lásìkò pápá àṣírí Adámàsìngbà àtàwọn inú ojú pópó tí ń sòrú dọ̀sán ńkọ́ àwọn ìlú ti sọ pásì ìwádùn níṣèjọba yìí fi ń mọ rírì gbogbo àwọn aláṣẹ gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé ló ń sọ fún wa pé pẹ̀lú ìṣọ̀kan wa oòrùn tó kù lókè yìí ó táṣọ ọgbẹ.
iléeṣẹ́ ètò ìròyìn àṣà ohun ìrìn àjò afẹ́ tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló ń kéde.
ọgbà tí àṣejiná lóde ìrànjẹ́ làwọn aláṣejókòó tí wọ́n fẹ́ máa jẹ ọba ni wọ́n ó ṣe gàyà díẹ̀ ná ìlú ló láṣẹ ẹjẹ́ ìlú ó jẹun náà ìdí nìyí tó fi jẹ́ pé ẹ̀tọ́ ìlú là ń fowó ìlú ṣe nípìnlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ̀rí bí ní ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa ṣe ń jògèrè LAUTECH ti di tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ilé ìwòsàn alábọ́dé bíi 40 ló ti wẹ̀wọ̀ ọ̀tún pẹ̀lú àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tòun tòògùn àti irinṣẹ́ tó pójú owó iṣẹ́ sì ti fẹ́ẹ̀ parí pẹ̀lú lórí 100 míì ìdákẹ́jádò ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ààbò tó dájú ohun amáyédẹrùn ní ìṣokùnfà ìdásílẹ̀ iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá láwùjọ òun náà nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ fi wà nípò kẹta nínú àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tí ń pawó wọlé jùlọ lábẹ́lé nílẹ̀ wa ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ ló ti láǹfààní ẹ̀kọ́ṣẹ́ iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ lọ́nà ti gbàlódé táṣeyọrí yìí ó sì jẹ́ kó ń jẹ́ sùn wá bọ̀ láìpẹ́ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ àtòṣìṣẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì ń gbowó wọn lásìkò pápá àṣírí Adámàsìngbà